Hi there, and welcome into the Cougars Sports Network as we get ready for softball here on a Thursday afternoon as the Riverside Tigers in town to take on the College of the Canyons Cougars. I'm Matt Robinson, glad to have you along with us as always here on the Cougars Sports Network. Well, COC and Riverside locking up for the first of two games in the next week plus, as this is makeup games from a couple of weeks ago when these two teams were scheduled to play in a doubleheader and did not, due in part to some rain issues that we've been dealing with quite a bit. But the rain has disappeared, and we will get some softball here today between Riverside and COC. For College of the Canyons and John Wismath's squad, so far this year, it's been less than ideal, but getting better as the season has gone on. As the Cougars so far 3-6, it's kind of been a struggle as of late. Did snap a losing streak the other day on Tuesday against Ventura when they won 16-1, and it's really just been an issue of consistency for COC so far this season. When they find it and they play well, they've been a very good team. When they struggle a little bit and don't quite have the consistency that I know Coach Wismath would like to see, then you see things kind of change and the Cougars have a little bit of a struggle here and there. But trying to turn that thing back around here today as they take on this Riverside squad, who is 5-9 on the year. For the Tigers this season, again, a team that's coming off a losing streak of their own, trying to pick up back-to-back wins for the second time this season. They did that against Allen Hancock back on February 10th, but beat Antelope Valley, a WSC South opponent, on Tuesday, 12-4, playing here today. The starting lineup for Michelle Donato, the Riverside head coach. Sheila Fernanda Cano is the leadoff hitter, then Chloe Lockhart batting second. Rebecca Razzo in the 3 spot. Elise Flores batting 4th. Followed by Summer Sanders, then Elizabeth Segala. Brianna Burry is the DP in the 7 spot. Guadalupe Lemus is the 8 hitter, and Samantha Sizemore batting 9th with India Hester in the flex. Playing right field today, as they will face Lexi Angulo, whose first pitch is in for a called strike on the inner half to Fernanda Cano. For Angulo this season, 8th appearance of the year, her 6th start, just 3-2 with a 4.33 ERA. 32 and a third innings pitched so far this year for Angulo. 40 hits, 23 runs, 20 earned, 16 walks, 15 strikeouts. As opposing hitters hitting .296 against her this season, as the 1-1 delivery waved at and missed makes it 1-2. For Sheila Fernanda Cano this year, .462 hitter, her 15th start of this season, 24 hits and 52 at-bats this year for Riverside, as she waits on a 1-2 delivery that misses up. So some popped up foul out of play. So we went on a 1-2. That one nearly hits Fernanda Cano. Since the ball, they count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one lifted in the air down the line and left. It's going to get off the wall on one hop. Fernanda Cano into second base with a leadoff stand-up double. And Riverside in business to start here as the leadoff runner aboard on a ball down the line from Sheila Fernanda Cano, her 9th double of the season. And Riverside in business. Chloe Lockhart stepping in. Lockhart this season, .488, 21 for 43 on the season with 9 doubles, 2 home runs, and 11 runs batted in. That one in for a called strike, makes it 0-1. Two balls, 1 strike to count. Angulo's delivery hit in the air towards left field, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Lockhart, and Riverside jumps out to a 2-0 lead. As Lockhart gives it a ride to left center field, an oppo home run for Lockhart, her 3rd of the year. Give her 13 RBIs now on the season. And Riverside out to a 2-0 lead over Canyons here in the first. So not the start Angulo and the Cougars were looking for. Just like that, Riverside out to a quick 2-0 lead as here's Razzo stepping in. 469 on the year, 23 for 49 with 4 doubles, a triple, and 18 RBI. Behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's Angulo. Just the first, Riverside already with a 2-0 lead. And now Razzo way ahead, 3-0. That one in for a called strike, makes it 3-1. A 5-pitch walk, so Razzo on first, and the Cougars yet to get an out here in the first inning. As it'll bring us to Elise Flores. Flores 311 on the season, 4 doubles and 12 runs batted in. As Razzo will lead away from first. And Angulo kind of struggling through the first here. Defensively for COC, by the way. Murrow at first, Mejia at second, Petretti at short, Bag at third, Pecor in left, Kate Garcia in center, Neal in right, and Gigi Garcia behind the plate working with Angulo as the battery here today. As that pitch misses up, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So tough start for the Cougars here, already trailing 2-0. That's a good pitch from Angulo that time. She gets Flores to swing and miss. So we send Flores 12 RBIs in the season, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, slugging .400 with those 4 doubles out of her 14 hits. But those are her only 4 extra base hits as she swings and misses on that, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. This ball hit on the ground. Diving play from Picor, throws to second, not going to be in time. In safely and easily that time is Flores. It's an infield single for Riverside, as it would have been a tough play across the diamond for Picor nonetheless. So the Tigers, 4 batters up, 4 batters on base, and here's Summer Sanders stepping in. Sanders .222 on the season, 8 hits and 36 at-bats with 3 doubles and 6 runs batted in. There's 2 runners on here for Riverside in the first, already leading 2-0 after the 2-run home run from Lockhart. That one misses inside. One ball, 1 strike to count here. As Sanders, the third baseman, standing in. That pitch misses up, make it 2 balls and 1 strike. So Angulo has not had her best stuff here early on. Lockhart made her pay. Behind in the count here to Sanders, and she falls way behind at 3-1. This is a Riverside squad that historically has been very tough for the Cougars to deal with. Riverside as a program in its history has been so very good. We saw him here last year. Suju delivery misses up, and the base is loaded here now. Angulo fighting it here. Second walk of the inning issued. Sanders on, and now Segala comes to the plate with the bases loaded. Segala, .257 hitter this season with a couple of home runs. 8 runs batted in. For Angulo, pitched very well on Tuesday. So comes back for the second time this week. Went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits and just 1 run. Walked 3, struck out 2 against Ventura. Maybe seeing a little of that fatigue here today. And remember, the Cougars do play again tomorrow as they take on Santa Barbara tomorrow here from Whitten Field. Unfortunately, we will not have that for you here on the Cougar Sports Network, but you can show up and come support the ladies in person. They would certainly like that. As this ball lifted in the air towards shallow center field, Kate Garcia coming in will make the catch. The runner at third in Razo will tag but stay put. And there's 1 away here in the first inning. As Segala flies out lazily to center field, 1 down. Here's the DP, Brianna Burries. Just 1 hit and 15 at-bats this year for Burries. Scratched at 2 hits and 15 at-bats for Burries with a double and 5 RBI. She'll face Angulo here. First pitch from Lexi misses down. 1 ball and no strikes. Cloudy one here in Santa Clarita today as the weather getting ready to come in once again. Potentially tomorrow. As we said, the Santa Barbara game on the schedule. We may not get it in. It may rain tomorrow. It's supposed to be another nice rainstorm here for the Southern California areas. This one hit up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit, but only one run will score as the runners just move up 60 feet. But Burries with an RBI single, her third hit of the season. And Riverside has a 3-0 lead. So you're saying the rain may wash us out again tomorrow. Another doubleheader may be in jeopardy. So this ball popped up foul out of play. It's 2-strike count here to the 9-hitter in Guadalupe Lemus, the catcher. 207 hitter on the season, 6 hits, 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in. This one fouled straight back to the screen. We'll do it again. So we're talking about first pitch was right about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Weather 61 degrees today. Tomorrow it's going to drop down to 58 and the rain chance is 63%, but it's really going to come in on Saturday. Well, that's when we're expected to get the heavier portion of the storm, so they might be able to get it in tomorrow. We'll see. That pitch misses up and in. One ball, 2 strikes here to Lemus. Base is still loaded full of Tigers here in the first. It's been a long first as Lemus gets it back to 2-2. Flores at third, Sanders standing out at second, Burries over at first, and Lemus at the dish. This ball popped up. Shallow right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Runners will all advance again as another run across for Riverside. And it's a 4-0 Riverside lead in the first as they will bat around. As Sizemore coming up. Lemus has an RBI bloop single out to right that landed in front of Neal and just behind Murrow and Mejia. The flex is going to come in and run for the DP, so Hester going to run for Lemus. And we get Samantha Sizemore now at the plate. Sizemore 250 on the year. Riverside has done a good job just waiting for good pitches to hit. For Sizemore, 4 for 16 with a double and 5 RBI. Good pitch from Angulo. Get herself back in the count at 2-1. That one waved at by Sizemore. Tigers still with the bases loaded. Just one away here in the first inning, a 4-run first inning for Riverside. Sizemore down on strikes. First punch out of the ball game for Angulo. 2 down. We go back to the top of the order here. As Sheila Fernanda Conto comes back to the plate with a double and a run scored. First pitch in there for a called strike. Conto doubled down the left field line to open the game. This ball popped up straight back over our head. Two-strike count here to Fernanda Cano. That pitch misses up in the zone. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. 4 across. Top of the order back up here for Riverside, as they got the first 5 batters that Angulo faced on. Segala has been retired on a fly ball. Sizemore on a strikeout. Angulo tried to hold it right here at 4 and get the Cougars in to hit. Sun trying to poke out a little bit here. At Whitten Field on this mostly cloudy Thursday. Good pitch, but just missed up in the zone from Angulo. So full count runners will get a head start here for Riverside. Sheila Fernanda Cano stands in. 3-2 delivery, lifted down the line and left, hooking foul. So again, we'll go 3-2. Payoff pitch from Angulo. Lifted in the air on the first base side. Going to get into the dugout and out of play. Again, payoff pitch. And it's a walk and another run for Riverside. 5 across here in the first. That's an RBI walk for Fernanda Cano. Sanders comes in to score, and Lockhart, who had the 2-run home run to left center field to start the scoring for Riverside, comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 away. So this ball hit on the ground. Mejia picks it up and fires to first to set down Lockhart. But the damage really done from Riverside here in the top half of the first inning. 5 runs across, thanks in part to a 2-run home run from Chloe Lockhart. RBI hits from Flores, Burries, and Lemus. And a half an inning in the books. Riverside with a 5-0 cushion. And the Cougars lineup getting ready to come up and try and flip the script back around. As the COC lineup will stack out like this. Paige Pecora lead things off, then Alexia Mejia in the 2 spot. Gigi Garcia batting 3rd, Brooke Petretti batting 4th, then Kate Garcia in the 5 spot. Lily Bagot, then Haley Neal, followed by Nicole Murrow and Lexi Angulo, the pitcher, batting 9th. They will face Chloe Lockhart, who is scheduled to be in the circle today. As Lockhart this season, this will be her 12th appearance, her 6th start, 2-4 with a 6.88 ERA, 39 2/3 innings pitched. She's struck out 21, walked 25, given up 39 earned runs and 59 runs total on 64 hits, opposing hitters in 360 against her. It's not been helped out by the Riverside defense, which has had some struggles this year. For the Tigers, 31 total defensive errors this season. They've turned 5 double plays. But it has been a struggle for them defensively. Today, though, they spot Lockhart with a 5-0 cushion as here's Paige Pecora to step in for COC in the bottom half of the first inning. Pecora for the Cougars, coming off a game with a couple of, I think she had 3-hit game on Tuesday. Yeah, went 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, and 2 runs batted in against Ventura. Batting .280 on the years. That one misses up and in. Pecora, 7 hits and just 25 at-bats. 2 doubles, a triple, 4 runs batted in, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. She's well ahead here to start, though. And against Lockhart. That pitch misses just up. So Pecora way ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. And it's a 4-pitch walk. So Pecora does a good job as the leadoff hitter gets on. And Alexia Mejia coming to the plate. Mejia just batting .143 on the year, only 2 hits on the season. One of those a double. 3 RBIs on the year. As the Cougars certainly need her to start finding it at the plate. Out of the 2 spot. Defensively for Riverside, Sizemore at first, Fernanda Cano at second, Razzo at short, Sanders at third, Sigala, Flores, and Hester from left to right in the outfield with Lemus behind the dish. 6 straight balls by Lockhart to start here. And she is yet to find the strike zone. The Cougars smartly taking everything right now as she has not found the strike zone yet on 7 straight pitches. That's the first strike of the ball game from Lockhart. It's Mejia taking the whole way that time. This ball fouled off into the screen. Lockhart gets herself back in the count at 3-2. Mejia down on strikes as Lockhart gets a punch out after 7 straight balls, comes back with 3 straight strikes. Her first strike out of the ball game. One away, and Gigi Garcia coming up. Garcia hitting .333 this season with 2 triples and 8 runs batted in. Those 2 triples are only 2 extra base hits on the year. And again, Lockhart falls behind. Lemus decides to throw behind Picor here, but she's back in plenty of time. And it's 3 balls and no strikes here to Garcia. That one in for a called strike to Gigi. Gigi in her sophomore year. Last year was a big part of the Cougar lineup. Just 8 hits and 24 at-bats, but has started all 9 games so far for COC, or 9 of 10 so far for COC. She hits this one on the ground towards short. Backhanded by Razzo, but she couldn't pick it up cleanly. And the Cougars with 2 aboard here in the first. As Garcia on.
Now batting number 8, Brooke Petretti.
So it'll get us back to Brooke Petretti here. As we went on official scoring. Petretti, the hottest Cougar in the lineup this season, batting .467 with 14 hits and 30 at-bats. Just 7 RBIs and only 1 extra base hit. She's got a big spot here, hitting out of the 4 spot with 2 on. Change up from Lockhart in for a called strike. This ball hit on the ground towards short. They're going to go to third for the first out as Petretti grounds into a fielder's choice. Garcia was scored a single. Picor cut down 6-5 for the second out of the inning. So it'll bring us to Kate Garcia here. So 2 down. Kate 435 on the year. 4 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. 4 for 10 hits are extra base hits this season. Her slugging percentage at .783 to lead the Canyons roster. As she hits here with 2 away. Swings at the first pitch, hits it on the ground easily towards Fernanda Cano, who picks it up, fires to first, and that'll end the threat. Cougars got 2 runners aboard to start the inning, but go home quietly. 1 inning in the books, 5-0 in favor of Riverside. Don't forget to join us here at College of the Canyons on March 16th for a special dedication ceremony of the baseball field to Mike Gillespie, the legendary COC baseball coach, as the Cougars will officially honor the three-time state championship head coach who went on to success at USC, brought them a national title, went on to Irvine as well, and was a longtime coach here at College of the Canyons. It'll start at noon with a luncheon in the Cougar Den, then an on-the-field dedication at 1:15, followed by first pitch between Bakersfield and College of the Canyons at 2 p.m. Scan the QR code on your screen in order to RSVP for the event. And for more information, you can contact Chad Peters, our athletic director and dean of kinesiology, for more information. As we go to the second inning here from Whitten Field, named after legendary COC softball coach Ray Whitten. That was done years and years ago. As the Cougars trailing 5-0 is Riverside out with 5 runs. In their first inning here's Rebecca Raza, who walked her first time up, grounds sharply on one hop to third, scooped by Bagot, fired to first. One pitch, one out here in the second inning for Riverside. Elise Flores singled and scored a run. Part of that 5-run inning for Riverside. Just an inning ago. Pitch in for a called strike. Flores just 4 for 22 over her last 7 coming into today. So that hit a big one for her as she tries to bust out of this little recent slump. Had a 7-game hitting streak to start the season, so it was kind of just struggled through this portion of the year over the last 7 for Riverside. Certainly has the talent at the plate. That's why she's in the 4 spot. She's down on strikes. Angulo has her second punch out. 2 away. It's a good pitch that time from Lexi. Rising in the zone to the 4-hitter in Flores. It'll bring Summer Sanders to the plate. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Sanders, who stands in. So 3-2 count here as Sanders was behind. This one head out into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Sanders headed towards second base. She's in with a stand up 2 out double. Say that 5 times fast. And again, Riverside with a runner on after another hit here in the second inning, bringing us back to Elizabeth Segala, who flew out for the first out of the first. This ball hit on the ground out into left field, trying to score on the base hit is Sanders, and she does. Segala advances up to second, and Riverside adds another. As Pecor's throw was high, and the Cougars tried to cut it off, and instead it got over the top of Bagot's glove, tipped off her, slowed things down, and makes it 6-0 in favor of Riverside here. Segala with a base hit. So go back to Burries, the DP who re-enters to hit here. Six to nothing in favor of Riverside after a single from Sanders, or a single from Segala and a double from Sanders with 2 outs. As the Tigers trying to score a couple more here with a 2-out rally. 5 in the first, 1 here in the second. Burry's way ahead here now. 3 balls and 1 strike. And she's going to be able to work a 2-out walk. Third walk of the ball game issued by Angulo. And here's Guadalupe Lemus, who had a single her first at bat last inning. 2 on, 4 here now. Riverside had the bases loaded for a time in the first. This one hit back up the middle. That'll get out into center field for a base hit. They're going to try and score the runner from second base. She will get there easily as Segala scores. It's another RBI hit. Make it 7-0 in favor of the Tigers as they continue to rally here with 2 outs. As Lemus has her second hit of the ball game to drive in a run. And now Samantha Sizemore will come back to the plate. So Sanders with a 2-out double. And then a single from Segala to score her, a walk to Burries, and then a single from Lemus. This ball just popped foul. Two-strike count here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sizemore. That ball hits Sizemore. And so the base is loaded once again here for Riverside. For Angulo, just her second hit batter of the year. For Riverside as a group, it's actually the 18th time they've been hit by a pitch this year. The Tigers' 3rd most times being hit by pitches this season. As we go back around to Fernanda Cano, who with a hit and a walk today. And another hit is this one out into center field. 1 run will score. They'll try and send Lemus from second base. She will score. And Riverside now with a 9-0 advantage. As Burry scores from third, Lemus scores from second. Fernanda Cano has her second RBI hit of the, or second hit of the ball game, and her first run batted in. And she's got 2 hits and 2 at-bats and a walk. She's 5th in the state in hits, 8th in the state in runs, 2nd in the state in doubles. She's done such a good job at the plate this year, with now 9 doubles on the season. And again, the Cougars going to talk about things in the circle. As a 2 RBI hit makes it 9-0. Canyon's going to opt for a pitching change here, as Nicole Murrow, the first baseman, going to flex over into the mound. And Angulo just going to move over to first base. So we'll see Nicole Murrow now. Who in 5 appearances this year is 0-4 with a 7.11 ERA. She's given up 27 hits, 28 runs, 22 earned, walked 28, and just struck out 3. The walks have really hurt Nicole this year. As Lockhart hitting, as again Riverside has sent 9 to the plate here. Most of it coming with 2 outs as Razzo grounded out to start the inning. Flores struck out for the second out, but then a double from Sanders, a single from Segala, a walk to Burries, a single from Lemus, a hit batter in Sizemore, and a single from Fernanda Cano. Has put 2 runners on here for Lockhart, who's well ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. As Murrow, the new pitcher, walks her on 4 pitches. So the base is loaded here for Riverside. And the Tigers will bat 10 in the inning once again. So Murrow coming in cold, walks the first batter she faces. And now she faces Razzo. Who grounded out to start the inning off. One count here to Razzo. This ball fouled away. Razzo 7th in the state in hits, 6th in the state in RBIs. Riding a 4-game hitting streak, trying to extend that here today. So we get set for the 1-2. Misses up and away. Base is still loaded here, full of Tigers. 2 away in the second inning. Razzo, a line drive caught by Petretti on a soft liner, but a good play by Petretti, diving to finish off the inning. But the damage done once again by Riverside. 4 more across. They lead 9-0 as we go to the home half of the second inning.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Nothing Riverside as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Tigers 5 in the first, 4 in the second. Lockhart getting back to work in the circle. She'll face Bagot, Neal, and Murrow. So here comes Lily Bagot, sophomore, batting .360 on the season, 9 for 25 with a double, 5 RBI, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Trying to get anything started for the Cougars here. In this second inning, trailing 9-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here to Baggett. Ball chopped foul, so we'll do it again. This ball hit in the air towards right field, and Hester is there to make the catch. 1 away. Haley Neal will step in. 353 on the season, 6 for 17. One of just a couple of Cougars with home runs this season is Neal and Garcia with home runs. Hasn't walked yet this year, but has struck out twice. Takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Neal. So this one chopped back to the circle. Picked up by Lockhart, thrown to first, 2 away. So 2 down, Nicole Murrow coming to the plate. Murrow hitting 118 on the season, 2 for 17. Because they're bothering you now, because they're sitting after the 12. That's good. You gotta be but that's good that the kids are getting out. Murrow down on strikes. Lockhart with her second strikeout of the ball game. 2 full in the books, 9-0 Riverside here from Whitten Field.
I can't get enough of watching Jersey Mike's freshly grilled hot subs right in front of me. In fact, I like watching nice and close. Oh, yeah.
The eyes just moved.
It's just the steam from the grill. You're seeing things.
Look at that sizzle.
Did you hear that?
Relax, it's just the grill.
Yeah, it's just the grill. Woo! Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
One away here as Murrow gets Flores to ground to first in the ground to third in the third. As will go Summer Sanders, who's doubled and walked and scored twice. The Tigers rolling here with an 9-0 lead. First pitch to Sanders, in for a called strike. Sanders snapped a 5-game hitting streak against Antelope Valley on Tuesday, went 0 for 4. She's kind of been hot and cold. She had no hits in 6 games before that 5-game hitting streak. Kind of has heated back up here a little bit today with a double and a walk as she's ahead in the count here 2-1. Murrow's pitch misses up. So 3 balls, 1 strike the count here to Sanders. Already in her 3rd at-bat of the ball game as Riverside, 3rd time through the lineup here today, and just the 3rd inning. And Murrow, another walk issued, her 2nd of the ball game. Here's Segala, walked and flew out. Segala, 2 hits and 3 at-bats on Tuesday as this one chopped towards third. Bagot to second for 1, on to first, not in time for the double play. But the Cougars do get the 2nd out of the inning here. As Sanders cut down 5-4. Segala reaching on a fielder's choice. Brianna Burries, who's 1 for 1 with a walk, comes in. Burries, her first game in the last 3. Murrow sits down Burries on strikes. First strikeout for Murrow. And at the end of 2.5, still 9-0 in favor of Riverside. So we go to the bottom of the third. Angulo, then the top of the order due up for Canyons, facing Lockhart. One on the count here to Angulo. Alexi 2-11 on the year, 4 for 19. No extra base hits on the season. Canyons just one hit so far in the ball game. So Angulo swings and misses, and it's 1-2. Two chopped towards second, scooped by Fernanda Cano and sent to first for the first out here, the third inning. Five straight retired here for Lockhart as we go back to the top of the order. Pecor, who walked to lead the game off, stepping back in. Page coming in off that solid 3 for 3 game. With a double, a triple, 2 RBIs, and a walk against Ventura. Another solid game she had this year. She went 3 for 4 in the opener. A loss for COC with a double, an RBI, and 3 runs scored against Folsom Lake. Other than that, it's been up and down a touch. Batting at just .280 on the year. One ball, one strike count to Pecor. Lockhart bounces that one well short. Flag's blowing a little bit towards left field, but not much in terms of the wind today, and it's kind of swirling when it does blow. Pecor line drive, snagged out of the air by Sanders, 2 away. Good play to her right that time by Sanders, the third baseman. 2 down on Alexa Mejia, who struck out her first time at the plate coming up. Sun trying to peek through the clouds here a little bit. Five in the first, 4 in the second, nothing in the third for Riverside, but the Cougars have not scored yet in the ball game and just have 1 hit. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Alexia Mejia. The second baseman in the 2 spot today. One in for a called strike on an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mejia gets it to a 3-2 count. Lockhart's been good today, has only issued 1 walk. She struck out 2. Mejia pops this one up, back of second base. Cruising back, Fernanda Cano will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. 7 retired in a row for Lockhart. We go to the 4th inning. Riverside still leading 9-0.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Scheduled hitters for the Tigers in the 4th are Lemus, Sizemore, and Fernanda Cano. Lemus 2 for 2 today. Couple of hits in as many at-bats. Breaking out of a 1 for 6 little streak over the last 3. That one was a double against Bakersfield. And the other 2-hit game came against Pasadena City College back on the 13th, where she went 2 for 4. Facing Murrow here in the 4th. Right now, if the score stays where it's at, Cougars only 2 more at-bats, as we're in range for the 8 after 5 rule to come into play. So the wind is picked up a little bit here. Lemus pops this one in foul territory. Angulo over to make the catch, 1 away. Bring us back around to Samantha Sizemore. Struck out, hit by a pitch. Sizemore hits with 1 away. Murrow, since coming in, facing Lockhart in the 2nd, has only seen 3 base runners. This ball hit down the line and right foul. For Angulo, she went an inning and 2/3. Give up 9 hits, 9 runs, all of them earned. walked 3, struck out 1 or 2. And right now is in line for the loss. Two balls, 2 strikes to count here to Sizemore. For Angulo, she picked up the win on Tuesday against Riverside, but lost on the 24th to Cerritos, going 6 innings in that ball game, so breaks back-to-back 6-inning games for her. 3-2 count here to Sizemore. She's 1-1 over her last 2 starts and is 1-2 over her last 3 appearances. Sizemore down on strikes, 2 away as Murrow has her second strikeout of the ball game. So 2 down, and Sheila Fernanda Cano coming back in. Good pitch from Murrow that time, but just missed off the plate. Foul back to the screen, 1-1. So we sent Fernanda Cano 5th in the state in hits coming into today. 8th in the state in doubles as she lifts this one in the air towards shallow center field. Playable, and that will end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down once again for Murrow. She retires the side in order. Riverside blanked for the 3rd inning in a row, but still lead 9-0. So we go to the home half of the 4th here from Whitten Field. Garcia Petretti and Kate Garcia, Gigi Garcia, Brooke Petretti and Kate Garcia scheduled to face Lockhart here in the 4th inning. This one hit down the line in right, foul. For the Tigers at 5-9 this year, their wins over San Diego City, Allen Hancock, Moore Park, and Antelope Valley. They've played a decently tough schedule. When you look at things, Palomar, they lost 5-1. They got beat 14-1 by Long Beach. Lost in a wild one to East LA, 13-12. Then lost 9-7 to Pasadena City, 12-7 to Moore Park. Got blanked 9-0 by Mount San Antonio, then lost a doubleheader to Bakersfield 5-2 and 10-2. And then lost to Southwestern 15-8 as Garcia down on strikes, one away. And here's Petretti. Third strikeout of the ball game for Lockhart. Petretti grounded into a fielder's choice. So it's not as though they've not faced good opponent. They've faced a murderer's row of opponents, I would say, but they've faced some good teams. As this one chopped towards third, it's a fair ball. Throw to first. Not in time to get Petretti, as she's got an infield hit, as it was a little slow on the throw from Sanders. And the Cougars with a runner aboard here in the fourth. Goes back to Kate Garcia, who grounded to second her last time up. And for the Tigers really this year, the issue has been pitching. They've really struggled in the circle this season. It's been the majority of their problem, as it's just been consistency in the circle. 86 innings pitched, which is 23rd most, but they've given up 124 hits, 126 runs, 89 of them earned. That's all bottom of the state, or near the bottom of the state. Just 34 strikeouts. ERA at 7.24. So it's really been that pitching and defensive consistency that has been their problem. We already talked about the defense, the errors at 31 coming into today. This ball hit on the ground, right at Fernanda Cano. Flips to second for one, on to first, but not in time. Garcia going to try for second base. Here's the throw, got away from Sizemore, and she will get into second with 2 outs here after grounding into a fielder's choice, and there's another error on Riverside. So Petretti retired, 4-6. Garcia to first on the fielder's choice and on to second on the errant throw. And it'll get us back around to Lily Bagot, who flew out to right field her first at bat. First pitch to Bagot in for a called strike. Bagot 2 for 2 on Tuesday. Cougars won that game 16-1. But just 3 for 13 over her last 5, not including today. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here to Bagot. Lockhart trying to work around a base runner. This one hit softly on the ground towards second base. Fernanda Cano flips to first, and that'll end the inning. So for the books, the Cougars with just 2 hits. We go to the top half of the 5th inning in Riverside. leading 9-0 here from Whitten Field. Lockhart, Razzo, and Flores, the scheduled hitters here for Riverside. As they face Murrow here in the 5th inning. And Alabama out in right field now. She came in an inning ago. We weren't alerted to the change, but figured it out late. As this one popped up on the infield, Murrow has the play, will make the catch, one away. Here's Razzo, still working on that 5-game hitting streak. Doesn't have a hit so far in 2 at-bats today, but did walk and score back in the 1st inning. Trying to extend her little streak here. Scratched out a 4-game hitting streak. She lines out to center field, so that may snap her 4-game hitting streak. And she's retired for the 2nd out. We'll have a pinch hitter here for Flores. As Faith Albus will get a chance to hit. 3 for 5 this year, just her 3rd appearance of the season. Albus, 3 hits, 5 at-bats, a run scored, and an RBI. Is struck out twice as she faces Murrow here in the 5th. So Albus hits this one on the ground foul up the 3rd base side. Makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. That one hits Albus in the helmet. Looks like she's all right as she'll run down to first base. Here right in the top of the helmet. And now we'll go to Summer Sanders with a runner on first base. Sanders, 1 for 1, doubled and scored in the second, walked twice. It was just her second qualified at bat of the day here. That one lined past Petretti out into left field for a base hit. It gets away from Picor, so going first to third is Albus nicely. And it's a 2-out hit for Riverside here. Second hit of the ball game for Sanders. And it brings us back to Elizabeth Segala. Who has a hit and 3 at-bats today. Two balls, one strike to count here to Segala. Morrow trying to get the Cougars back into hit. Trailing 9-0 and trying to keep it at 9-0. Segala way ahead here now, 3-1. That one in for a called strike. Full count here. We'll put Sanders in motion from first base. Scratch that. Sanders is at second base as she was able to steal second. This ball lined foul. Looks like Raquel Razzo on deck, getting ready to hit for Burries. Segala waits on the 3-2. Hits it foul again up the third base side. She's able to work a walk and load the bases up here for Razzo. Third walk of the day issued by Razzo, or excuse me, by Murrow. Raquel Razzo will step in. 0 for 6 on the year with a couple of walks and a strikeout. So she'll hit here with the bases loaded in a 9-0 ball game, trying to pick up a couple of insurance runs for Riverside as they try and put this one even more out of reach. That one in for a called strike. Razzo takes that pitch up in the zone. And actually they say she went as they check out to the field umpire. Hard for me to see. I'm looking at the screen just like you are, so. Nonetheless, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count here to Rebecca Razzo. Sorry, to Raquel Razzo. As she gets hit in the shoulder. And so it's a hit by pitch and an RBI for Razzo. Second hit batter in the inning. Another run across for Riverside as Albus comes in to score. She started the 2-out rally off by being hit by a pitch. Now Guadalupe Lemus is 2 for 3. Swings at the first pitch, hits it on the ground. Petretti fires to first, not dug out by Angulo. Couple of runs come across, but the out at third is made to finish it out. But scoring are Sanders and Sigala. Razzo makes the final out at third. She's retired 3-5 for the third out as Lemus reaches on an error. Call it an error throw on Petretti. But 3 runs across for Riverside in the 5th on just 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. 12-0 Riverside. As they get 3 more, and the Cougars will come up here in the 5th, trying to extend the ball game. Haley Neal re-enters here. And she'll lead things off here in the 5th inning. Neal grounded back to the pitcher in her only at-bat. Fouls this one off to the right. This one chopped foul up the right side again. 1-2. For Riverside, this would be the 3rd time this year they've finished a game before the 7th in a win. Had a number of games. They've only had 4 games go 7 innings or more. Everything else has been 6 or less. Neal gets it back to a 3-2 count. For Canyons, it'd be the second time this year they've finished a game in 5. Their last 3 have all ended before the 7th. Or actually, their last game ended in the 7th, or in the 6th. They actually lost to Cerritos on the road, so they only pitched 6 innings in that ball game. Neal chops this one past the first baseman. A diving stop, Fernanda Cano to first base to get Neal. So Sizemore couldn't field it initially trying to reach it. But then Fernanda Cano with a diving play. Sizemore getting back to first. And Neal is retired 4-3 for the first out. As Nicole Murrow will come back to the plate with 1 away. For Canyons, they lost 9-0 to Mount San Antonio here at Whitten Field. This would be the third time they've been shut out this season. Should they not get at least a run here in the 5th. It's a calm strike to Murrow, who struck out her only at bat. Just the Cougars' second time through the lineup, as Lockhart has been solid. Trying to go the complete game here. As Murrow hits this one in the air towards right. Hester charging, comes up with it after she kind of stumbled for a second, made that a little harder than she needed to, but 2 away. So the Cougars down to their final out. Lexi Angulo will come back to the plate, grounded to second to lead off the 3rd. And Lockhart 1 pitch away, really, from finishing out what would be her 3rd complete game of the year, just her 3rd win of the year. As Angulo hits this one on the ground towards short, scooped up, fired to first by Razzo. That'll finish it out. 6-3, the final out of the ball game. Riverside takes it 12-0 over COC in 5 innings. For Riverside, 12 runs on 10 hits. 1 error and 8 left on base for the Tigers. For the Cougars, no runs on 2 hits, an error and 3 left on base. Lockhart moves to 3-4. Angulo in the loss falls to 3-3. As the final time of the game, 1 hour and 49 minutes as we end at 3:49 p.m. For Riverside, they get to 6-9. For the Cougars, they fall to 3-7 on the year. Well, thank you for joining us here on the Cougar Sports Network. As we hope you enjoyed it, we'll see you next time for more action in baseball and softball next week here on COC Cougar Sports Network on YouTube. Have a good rest of your Thursday, everybody.